In the shadowy world of espionage, spies are often phantoms, their lives a tapestry of secrets and assumed identities. But what happens when one of these phantoms truly vanishes? Not captured, not killed, not retired, but simply erased from existence. Today, we delve into the chilling story of Pakistan's most enigmatic operative, a man so deep undercover that when he disappeared, no agency, not even his own, would ever claim him. This is the tale of the spy who vanished without a trace. Our story begins in the intricate and often perilous landscape of international intelligence. The operative, whose real name remains a closely guarded secret, was considered one of the best. Recruited for his sharp intellect, chameleon-like adaptability and unwavering nerve, he was a ghost, a master of blending in. He could be a businessman in Dubai one day, a scholar in London the next, and a laborer in a remote village the day after. His files, if they ever truly existed in a complete form, were a mosaic of contradictions and fabrications. He was a deep cover agent, a non-official cover, or NOC. This meant he had no diplomatic immunity, no official ties to the government. If caught, he was completely on his own. His handlers communicated with him through dead drops, coded messages hidden in plain sight, and fleeting encounters in crowded marketplaces. He was the tip of the spear, sent into the most hostile environments to gather intelligence that could make or break national security. His work was critical, but his existence was deniable. His final mission is where the story unravels into a vortex of mystery. The details are murky, pieced together from whispers and declassified fragments. It's believed he was tasked with infiltrating a highly dangerous transnational syndicate. This wasn't a state-sponsored group, but a powerful criminal network involved in arms trafficking, smuggling, and financing extremist cells. They operated in the gray zones of the world, in lawless border regions where governments held no sway. The objective was clear: map the network's leadership, understand their financial pipelines, and identify their connections to any state-level actors. It was a mission of immense risk. This syndicate was notorious for its brutality and its almost paranoid level of internal security. Betrayal was met with swift and horrifying consequences. Our agent, let's call him Mustafa for the sake of our story, knew the stakes. He had faced danger before, but this was different. This was a descent into the abyss. Mustafa successfully embedded himself within the organization. Over several months, he painstakingly built a new identity, gaining the trust of mid-level figures. He proved his worth through carefully orchestrated scenarios, small acts of loyalty that moved him up the ladder. He started feeding invaluable intelligence back to his handlers. He provided names, locations of safe houses, and details of upcoming transactions. From the outside, the mission was a resounding success. He was delivering more than they could have hoped for. His reports were cryptic but detailed. He described a complex web of alliances, a structure more sophisticated than initially assessed. He hinted at a surprising level of penetration into legitimate businesses and even some government corridors in various countries. The information was a goldmine, but it also painted a picture of an enemy far more powerful and connected than anyone had imagined. Mustafa was swimming with sharks, and the water was getting deeper. Then, the communication stopped, abruptly. One day, the designated dead drop was empty. The next scheduled signal was never sent. Days turned into weeks. A missed check-in for a deep cover agent isn't always a catastrophe. It could be a security precaution, a temporary communication blackout. But as weeks turned into a month, a cold dread began to settle in at headquarters. A standard protocol for a missing no-see is delicate. You can't just send in a team. Any overt investigation could expose the entire intelligence network in the region and, worse, confirm the missing agent's identity and affiliation, signing his death warrant if he was still alive. The agency had to use proxies, cutouts, and informants to discreetly ask questions, to listen for any chatter. They checked hospitals and morgues in the region using his cover identities. They monitored the syndicate's communications for any hint of a captured spy. They scanned intelligence reports from friendly and rival agencies. The result was a deafening silence. It was as if he had simply dissolved into thin air. There was no boastful announcement of a captured Pakistani agent, No body found in a ditch, no ransom demand. Nothing. This is what makes his case so uniquely terrifying for those in the intelligence community. An agent's death, while tragic, provides closure. A capture, while disastrous, creates a new objective: extraction or exchange. But vanishing? It's a void. It leaves an endless, agonizing string of questions. Was he compromised? Did he make a fatal mistake that exposed him? Or was he betrayed by someone within his own network? The syndicate he infiltrated was known for its internal purges. Perhaps he was simply caught in the crossfire, a victim of circumstance. His true identity never even discovered. Another, more chilling theory suggests he succeeded too well. What if the information he uncovered was so explosive, implicating such powerful figures, that his own side decided he was too great a liability? Perhaps the intelligence he sent back pointed to corruption so high up that his continued existence became a threat. In the ruthless logic of espionage, sometimes the messenger must be silenced to protect the message. And then there's the human element. The immense psychological pressure of deep cover work can break even the strongest individuals. Could he have simply walked away? Created a new life for himself, free from the world of shadows, leaving both his masters and his enemies behind? It's a romantic notion. But for a patriot who dedicated his life to his country, it seems unlikely. Yet the mind under that kind of strain can be unpredictable. Years passed. The syndicate he infiltrated was eventually dismantled, partly thanks to the early intelligence he had provided. But his name was never mentioned in the official reports. His file was likely archived, marked with a single word: vanished. For the agency, he ceased to exist. To acknowledge him would be to acknowledge a failure, a loose end in a world that demands precision and control. He became an institutional ghost, a cautionary tale whispered to new recruits. His family, if they were even aware of the true nature of his work, would have been given a cover story. A business trip gone wrong, a tragic accident abroad. They would never know the truth of his sacrifice, never have a grave to visit. He paid the ultimate price for his patriotism, not just with his life, but with his very existence. He was erased from history. The story of Pakistan's vanished spy is a stark reminder of the unseen battles fought in the defense of a nation. It's a tribute to the faceless men and women who operate in the dark, whose victories are never celebrated and whose losses are never mourned. They live and die by a code of silence and denial. While we may never know his real name or what truly happened to him in those final days, his legacy is one of absolute sacrifice, a phantom who served his country and disappeared into the shadows he once commanded. His story is not found in history books, but it is etched into the silent heart of the intelligence world, a permanent ghost in the machine. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of espionage's most enduring mysteries. If you find these stories of the unseen world compelling, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you next time.